Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's fly the TFDI MD-11 once again. We've now seen the 4th update of it, and I have to correct my earlier videos. It was not a beta version that we're flying, but indeed it is an alpha version they sold and that we are flying. Alright, so let's now head straight into the cockpit of our MD-11, and there's a little bit of new stuff over here. Like, for example, we can now go ahead on the dispatch page with the SimBrief data, but unfortunately it doesn't remember the SimBrief username when we enter and save it, so a little bit of stuff there that still needs a bit more updating. Okay, so I am just going to save my options over here with the tape displays disabled. This is just freshly installed, so we have the airplane on factory settings otherwise. We're standing in Stockholm Airport. It's going to be a quick 39-minute flight over to Helsinki that we're going to do, departing runway 08, landing runway 04 left in some lovely snowy conditions over here. Okay, let's start with our preparation procedures then, and we're going to start with the first officer's procedures, so we'll move over to the right-hand seat. And what do we got here? The logbook is checked, circuit breakers are checked, emergency equipment's checked, weather radar is currently off, fuel switches are set to off, parking brake is set. Then we've got the spoiler and flap handles up and retracted, landing gear handle is down. Looking up, we've got the manifold and the dump switch is guarded. Emergency power selector is set to off, and the battery switch can then come on. Okay, external power if available on. Now, we don't seem to have external power available at the moment, but I tell you what, we need the APU anyway, because we do want our air conditioning. So let's do a quick APU test here, then hit the start button, and that's it. The APU is now starting up. Okay, so, when APU power is available, we're gonna switch it on, and that's also gonna put on the APU bleeds, making our life a little bit more comfy in here. Standby horizon has started initializing down there. Nice to see that that is simulated, by the way. 144 seconds to go. And a quick word as we wait for the electricals to come on here. This is the 4th alpha version of the plane now, so obviously there is going to be issues still, but TFDI have really had a lot of things on the changelog. I can't talk about all of them, otherwise we'd be talking here for an hour, so we're just going to take the airplane flying and see what our impression is going to be like. But TFDI really worked a lot on different parts of the airplane, so you can expect some great changes there. Right, what's our APU doing? Still starting? Okay, APU power on. Now watch the screens as they are coming up. Here they are. Very good. And then the APU should be connected on the bleed air system as well. So let's get a little bit of air conditioning going. Okay then, let's proceed with the annunciator light test. That one, by the way, not that one, but that one. That did cause a previous bug where some things wouldn't turn off afterwards, but TFDI did say that they worked on that. However, it's still recommended just to take all the systems manual and back to auto, just in case. So that's what we are going to do over here. Right, very good. With that, the airplane systems are powered, so we can repeat our fire test. And this time we are going to get the complete fire test working.
Engine 1, fire. Engine 2, fire. Engine 3, fire.
Alright, thank you. Okay, then we turn on the IRS. That's also going to run the cargo fire test. So 3 IRS is on, cargo fire test is performed down there. Okay, last thing then, we'll quickly go to the FMC, flight plan in it, and just quickly check the GNS position is correct, which it is. So we hit initialize IRS, and that's going to start the process. Alright, cool. So from here on we can quickly run over to the captain's seat and run the captain's pre-flight procedures. So again, logbook check, glare shield, we can turn to hectopascals for our altimeter settings. The same, by the way, on the FO side as well. So hectopascals, and then we're going to take traffic and data up here. On the FO side, let's take traffic, data, and airport. The click spot down here on the airport button is still missing at this time. Oxygen system and masks. No click spot on the oxygen mask yet, so we can't test it. And then source input select panel, that's normal. All of those are not illuminated, and electronic instrument source is set to number 1. Alright, what is new though is that you can now start a timer. So if we hit that one, we'll now get the manual timer running on the plane up here. Okay, cool. Then let's go ahead and move on to the first officer's side once again, who is going to run all the system checks. So here we are again on the FO side, and we're going to start on the top left and just work our way down then. Alright, that stuff is not illuminated. The CVR test is performed. I'm going to keep the cargo heaters off, engine ignition off, light is showing and expected. So we are going to run the hydraulic pressure test. So hydraulic pressure test is in progress. And then we can just proceed further down on the main panel. The emergency power is going to come on. It should trigger a test, but that's not implemented yet, it seems. Hopefully that's going to come with the future update then. Okay, so moving further down, passenger load we can already enter. That's going to be 283. Well, or we cannot, because nothing happens when we go up here. Okay, then we cannot do that. Quite yet. Alright, refueling we'll do in a moment. In the meantime, emergency lights on, no smoking sign auto, seatbelt sign is going to remain off. For the fueling, nav light on. We'll just take the logo light as well, because why not? Okay, and then we can move up to the third side. Up here we are going to test the evacuation panel, at least we should, but that's not simulated yet. Flap limit and elevator field are on auto. Moving down, cabin pressure system is okay, any ice is okay. Then we can reset the fuel used, as we're still about to refuel, and that's it. So, moving further down on the panel, altimeters we'll set in a moment. The anti-skid system is okay, auto brake going to take off, and then further down there is not that much more to do for us. Okay, so with that we basically end up in the final cockpit preparation. So let's switch over to the captain's seat, and we're going to run it straight from here. I'm going to start with actually refueling the airplane first though. So let's go on to, no, not services, but payload. Okay, so passengers, we have 283. Weight per passenger is okay. Cargo, let's just put in some 3,000 kilograms. And the fuel quantity for today's flight is calculated with 11 tons, so I'll just take a bit extra due to the weather. Let's make it 15 tons. Okay, set payload. Perfect though, so that stuff is in. Now let's go over to the FMS and start our preparations. So FMC1, we're in MD-11, TFDI. The data is just out of date, but we can't update the database yet, it seems. And no data links. Okay, so flight plan in it. We're going from Echo Sierra Sierra Alpha to Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo. Like that. Alternate is going to be Stockholm again. Well, no, tell you what, alternate is Tallinn. EETN. Like that. Flight number is going to be Finnair 7 Kilo Foxtrot. Cruising flight level 390. Oh, not 6. That's a bit high. A little bit high. 390. And the cost NX for today's flight is going to be 80. Pretty much like that. Okay then, flight plan. From Stockholm, and we are going to depart runway 08 on the Tovry for Romeo departure. Here we are, Tovry for Romeo, insert. Okay, then after Tovry, we are going to join the airways on November 851 Recon. November 851 towards Recon. That's that one. Insert. Thereafter, direct to Ebebu. Okay, that's Ebebu. Thereafter, we'll fly direct to Ririb. And then we are going to join the airways again. So from Ririb, give me airway Yankee 364 Lakut. Yankee 364 towards Lakut. And here we go, insert that. No, didn't mean to do that. But here we go, Helsinki, star, and it is going to be an ILS runway 4 left via the Lakut 8 Bravo arrival. And insert that as well. Okay, perfect, so our route is pretty much all the way in. Let's go to the plan mode and quickly have a look over it all. Alright, that looks good to me. Cool, so that stuff is in. Secondary flight plan, we'll just make it a copy of the active and then we come back to the performance in it. Next page. So, block fuel is gonna be 15 tons. Takeoff gross weight, let's see, is 170.6 and zero fuel weight 155 point something. So 170.6. So 155 point something, very good. And center of gravity, don't have that over here anymore, do we? No. Okay, so we're just going to take the standard values that we have down here, and that's good. Alright, nothing to be refueled anymore, so we are good to go. Then let's go further to the takeoff and approach page. So, packs are going to be on for the takeoff, flex temperature of 45, and it's going to be a flaps 10 takeoff once again. Out of range. What did I put in? 10. Yeah, that's better. Okay, next page. So, oh sorry, thrust limits, that's what I've been looking for. It's going to be 20% derate, and for the takeoff itself we're going to do takeoff 2 as well. Alright, is that, yeah, takeoff 2, perfect. And for the climb we're going to make it climb 2 as well. Okay, looks good. So, 0 slope, 0 wind. Temperature, what do we have right now? -2 degrees centigrade. So let's put that in, -2C. And acceleration is going to be at 1,000 above the ground. Out of range, okay, tell you what, give me 1,500. I said 1,500, please. 1,500. That's good. Okay, check or confirm V-speeds. So, can we just tell it somewhere that the runway is actually wet? I don't think we can we? Well, we're going to use those anyway. It's a long runway after all. And 156 is going to be our V2. Well, that's going to be automatic by the FMS, so we don't really have to bother with that. So let's make an initial climb of something about 70. I think the real one is a bit lower, but tell you honestly, that's fine either way. Okay, nav and profile are armed, very good. So we just gotta wait for the IRS alignment to finish, which is probably going to take a little time. We are quite far up north here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that actually takes like 15 minutes or so. But not too much of a problem. Okay, in the meantime, do we have charts available by now? Okay, sign in with Navigraph. Oh yeah, that seems to work, very good. So let's just quickly scan that QR code. Doing that off screen, obviously. Sign in, yeah, thanks, approve, and allow. Right, successfully linked, so here we go. Okay, Echo Sierra Sierra Alpha, search. And we're looking for a SID chart, and our actual departure is towards Tovri. Here are all those Tovri departures. Here we go. Okay. So let's see. Runway 08, climbing 070 track, Sierra Alpha 412 above 600, direct to Tovri. Initial climb clearance 5,000 unless otherwise specified. Okay, so let's put 5,000 in here. Here we go. And runway heading, do we have that somewhere? 070. Okay. Always takes ages to dial a heading in Microsoft Flight Simulator, that's really annoying. But here we go. Right, looking good. So, QNH 1004 is set as well. I suggest then we can go ahead with the briefing and at the same time tell GSX to prepare the position for departure and pushback. Handling by, yeah, give me Scandinavian, that's good. Realistically we'd have to de-ice. For the purpose of simulator I'm just going to skip over that and we are just going to do without. But that's just for simulation, of course. Alright, cool. Then I suppose we go ahead with the departure briefing. Threats for the departure might be a little bit slippery out there, so we'll be rather careful, and we are going to taxi the airplane pretty slowly. But apart from that, I don't see any threats for this one. Okay, so route check comes out at, what's that, 237 nautical miles. Versus a sim brief distance of 233. So the mileage is good. Estimated fuel on board is good. And by the way, look at all those calculations you've got on the progress page here. And look at my entry mistake on the call sign over there. Should of course be Fox India November. 7 Kilo Fox. Like that. Okay, so this is definitely an improvement on the progress page over there. That used to show all zeros previously, but definitely some good work TFDI have put into that. Okay, then let's go ahead with our briefing. So route check is good. Then instrument cross check. We've got a UTC time of 1127, altimeter 1004, reading 100 feet. Yeah, standby instrument is set, and we can just quickly put that into hectopascals. No click spot down there, so we can't. Okay, so we're stuck with inches. But okay, we're gonna survive that. Right, apart from there, let's get going with the rest of our stuff. So, emergencies, standard, taxi, pretty much straight out. I wish there was an ability to pin those charts. Because if I go to the taxi chart now, where is our airport chart? Here it is. Okay, so we're parking down here. Taxi is going to be all the way over here via Zulu, all the way up for X-Ray 2 for runway 08 departure. Okay, and the SID we just talked about is basically straight out, kilometer 5,000. Any questions? No? Very good. Yeah, thank you GSX. Calm down. Cockpit preparation checklist. SD status page checked. Hydraulic panel. Auto. Fuel panel. Auto. Exterior lights. Well, not an exterior light, but the seatbelts can come on. Okay, evac command armed. Oxygen system and mask checked. Set 100%. Takeoff warning system checked. Fuel switches are off. Okay, rudder and aileron trim checked and 0, FMS checked set, flap takeoff selector set towards 10, FCP set, IRS, taxi. Well, interesting, it's showing us 4 knots. We're definitely standing. Greetings from GSX, I suppose. And auto brake. Here we go, takeoff. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright then, let's get going. We're going to use ignition B today. Beacon light can come on. So, before start checklist, doors, windows, closed. Park beacon on, ignition, set B, fuel panel, auto, air panel, auto, and that's the before start checklist complete. Okay then, parking brake is released, off we go. Roger. I don't care. Okay, so yeah, that's just unrealistic. I don't really care what GSX is saying down there. So let's continue with the engine start, really, shall we? So normal start sequence 3, 1, 2. Let's go ahead with engine 3. Okay, that's N2. %, fuel coming on. Interesting that the warnings are flashing down there. Not exactly sure what causes that, but I suspect it has something to do with GSX again. It's just incredible how many problems GSX can cause, really. Okay then, starter is already out, and then let's go ahead and start number 1. And 2. Looking for oil pressure. Okay, got 15%. Fuel on. Now the oil pressure is rising, and 1 is as well. Okay, good start of 1, starting 2. Yay, GSX messed up the pushback again. Okay, got 20% already, fuel on. Parking brake set.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Yeah, you said that already. Okay, that's 3 good starts. Clear disconnect, placing on the left side, please, with a pin, and have a good one. Alright, so MTIs. Somebody said something, I need to put it to manual mode before we can even do that. But I just can't find any switch for it. Can you put any of that into manual here? Or actually, if anybody of you knows where that switch can be found to get control of the anti-ice manually there, then do let me know in the comments below, please. Is it anywhere on... no. Well, then look at that. We still get those lights illuminated here. Despite, as far as I'm aware, TFDI said they actually wanted to have that fixed. Let's just have a quick look over here. What happens if we just go to manual mode and back into automatic? So if we go to manual, oh look at that, now we can actually turn the anti-ice. So we've got to put the entire air system in manual, that's interesting. Okay, well I can't be bothered. Let's put that back to auto, and the anti-ice is going to come on if the airplane deems it necessary. Obviously that would absolutely not be how we'd handle this stuff in real life, but it's okay. Alright, we just got the all clear signal down there from our ramp agent. So... ah, now the anti-ice is coming on. Good. Okay, so push APU air switch off and observe on-light extinguishers. Yep, that's the case. So then, hydraulic panel is in auto, ground equipment gear pins. A check can report obtained. Let's do the after start checklist. So, anti-ice on, air panel, auto, APU. Let's see. Off. Hydraulic panel, auto, ground equipment removed, cabin report received, and that's the after start checklist complete. So with that, we can now move ahead and go into the taxi procedure. So we're gonna keep the flaps up because of the snow. So let's just go ahead and go taxiing. Okay, brake check. Looking good. Taxi light can come on as well. Clear on the right side, clear on the left side. So we are basically going to delay all the stuff that relates to moving surfaces on the airplane until we are just shy of the runway, so that when we do those checks, basically we can't drop anything into the surfaces anymore, if you know what I mean. Interesting that we got trees all the way over here, but I think I have not updated my Stockholm scenery, so might just be an outdated scenery causing this. Okay, I don't want to see this. Let's go back inside. I got a Christmas tree already, I don't need to catch myself another one. Yeah, I think I forgot to update Stockholm. Might still be the original version 1. There are a couple updates available for it, so that's probably the reason for all those trees up here. But it's nice to see, actually, I gotta say. It reminds me a little bit of, you know, driving through some forest covered with snow. Even though I prefer to do it on a slat than on an MD-11, but you get where I'm going with that. But yeah, I know, critical phase of flight, and I should just shut up. So I'll probably just do that now. Okay, then second to the left. And then we are ready at the runway. Right side is clear. Left side is clear. Okay, cool. So let's taxi forward to the holding point. Even though the stop bar just went off, we are just going to stop anyway. So let's see. I think I should have stopped just about on time. Yeah, that would have been a little bit further way down there, but it's okay. Alright then. It's not really snowing anymore, we are at the runway, so let's go ahead and do our procedures. So, slats out the spoilers, if you would, thank you. Okay then, flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. And the rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Okay, trim for takeoff is 4.1 units. That's set as well. Okay, so cabin report is received, takeoff data is verified, and then we can do the taxi checklist, please. Flaps, flaps 10, spoilers, armed, flight controls checked, step trim set, 4.1 nose up, takeoff data confirmed, taxi checklist complete. Alright, so back to the engine page, brake off, high intensity lights on, cabin crew prepare for departure. Okay, just saw another snowflake or so. Wind seems to be quite cross when I'm looking at that. But 08 is what they're using in real world at the moment, so I'll be using that as well. Okay, before takeoff checklist. EAD, checked, high intensity and landing lights on, hydraulic panel, auto, air panel, auto, and weather radar and transponder. Well, transponder is a very good point. Transponder is on, weather radar is in up, and that's the before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, are you ready? And start the timing. Takeoff. Auto flight. Thrust set. 80 knots. Tracked. B1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav, profile. Auto flights. Okay, climb thrust is coming. We are accelerating. Flaps retract. And slats retract. Okay, let's get climbing. Gonna start at 10,000 and then we'll go higher a little bit later. Okay, so auto brake going off after takeoff checklist. Landing gear, up lights off, air panel, auto spoiler handle, disarmed, auto brakes off, flap slats, up retracted, hydraulic panel, auto, fuel panel, auto, EAD checked, seatbelts on, exterior lights are set, and altimeter to go. I'll tell you what, we can already set standard now. So, set standard. Yeah, we don't need a quick click spot to set the standby to standard. That's interesting. Nope, certainly no click spot down there. Okay, so standard is cross-checked as good as we can, passing flight level 7-8 now. Right, let's continue the climb. 390 is what we're looking for, even though it's just a short flight, but the plane really got a lot of power, so let's get all the way up. And look at that, we're doing 3,600 feet a minute, even though we're still in climb 2. But on such a short flight, it's a long-haul airliner after all. So we've got plenty of power for this. Okay, those don't look correct to me, so tell you what, we'll just get rid of the VOR indications again. Passing 10,000. Lights are coming off, we're gonna leave the seatbelt signs on until we're through this. And that's basically it. The windshield heat, do we really need that in high still? Not really, yeah? Okay, looking good. We are on the way. That's looking really good, isn't it? Beautiful model. Flying well. And what else could you possibly ask for? Anti-ice all on. So you see that these things turn on manually when the airplane detected that we're flying through icing conditions. 310 knots is okay, I would say. Let's get rid of those data things over here. Don't really need them anymore. Okay, with that we are now established in the climb. A quick look at the navigation display, see what things look like. Oh, look at that! Is my top of descent after the top of climb? I think it is, huh? Well, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Simbrief said 390 is the optimal level, but maybe Simbrief was a little bit optimistic. Let's just see, though. Progress. Can we get any info on that in here? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Had a little bit of hope, since that is quite similar to the Boeing progress page, and that would, under certain circumstances, show you the topper climb. Apart from that, let's just go to the thrust limit page in here, and let's go full climb thrust. It's going to be quite a bit of additional thrust. Let's see how much our rate of climb we get. Used to have 3,100. 3.3, 3.4. Yeah, 300 feet a minute more. Would have expected a little bit more, to be honest, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay then. One thing that is supposed to be new as well is some stuff on the fix page, so let's see if we can play a bit with it. Let's just see. I want some sort of waypoint somewhere. Let's just take Nekla, for example. So, Nekla. And give me, for example, I don't know, 030. Yeah, look at that. We can actually draw lines now. And it's also telling us how high we're going to be there, how far it is. That's quite cool. That's quite cool indeed. That's also one of the things they did with the recent update. Okay, in our case though, EFHK, we'll just put the destination in here, and that's going to be it. Alright, cool. So, still doing 3,000 feet a minute. Let's also get rid of those waypoints. Certainly don't need them. VORs? No, too many of them as well. Okay, I might just have to lower the cruise altitude a little bit. Let's say we want to go... Well, tell you honestly, let's just do a little bit of mathematics here. 350? Yeah, that's better. That's like a 40-mile cruise. Not exactly the longest, but then again also not the shortest. So I suppose we're just going to take that. Also, we're out of all of the weather over here, so seatbelts, auto. That's quite cool, by the way. With the no smoking signs in auto, they're actually staying on. Modern days logic. Okay, cool, so that's looking quite cool as well, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest over here, the entire airplane's looking pretty cool. It's an MD-11 after all. Used to be one of my favorites during childhood anyway. Well, the DC-10, but the 11 is almost the same thing. But it's just a very cool airplane. Okay, so back inside, still doing 2,500 feet a minute, passing level 260. That's quite a rate of climb there. But as I mentioned, we are currently flying like what? Ultra short haul on an airplane designed for long haul. We don't even have a maximum passenger amount on board. The fuel quantity, well, 12.7 tons. In a 737 I would fly, you know, almost to the Canaries with that. But in an MD-11, not so much. But what's quite interesting to see as well there is the fuel flows, like 3,300 kilograms per hour per engine. Now, obviously we've got 3 engines over here, but compare that, for example, with a modern wide body like the A330, that in climb has maybe 6,000 kilograms an hour, and then going down to eventually something like 2.5 or a little bit more, just under 3 during cruise. The 11 definitely uses a little bit more fuel than that. But then again, it's also a bigger airplane, so that's also to be taken into account over here. What I find more impressive actually is the fuel flow per engine, because the A330 engines aren't that much bigger, but still use a bit more fuel during climb. In cruise, obviously, it's going to be different then. Okay, passing 300 in a couple of moments. By the way, let's also adjust the target altitude here, 350. Just wondering. Oh, now, after I pressed FMS speed again, the display now dashed. Very good. So, not too much further from our top of descent, so how about we just go ahead and run a couple calculations here. If we can trust this, and it does look rather accurate. Nah, not really, huh? Top of descent at 57, while it's still 100 miles out? No. Those calculations are not exactly precise, it seems. Odezo 1156, same time at rear-rib. I don't see that happening. That's like 40 miles in between. I mean, we are doing 460 knots, so that is some 7 miles a minute, but even with that, I can easily guesstimate that we gotta fly for a little longer until our actual top of descent. Just a little. In any case, what we can do already is to grab our destination charts, E, F, H, K. Oh boy, F is realistic. Whenever I'm pressing the F key, it's just zooming out all the way. So Lockwood 8 Romeo, that is what we took. So basically Lockwood above 100, flying around the field for onto a downwind, and then radar vectors to final. Okay, so what we'll do, Lockwood is like, I don't know, 10 miles out from the 25 mile ring, so roughly 30 miles out. Tell you what, we'll make it Lakut at level 100. It's 100 plus at the moment, make it /100. Like that. And our top of descent came a little bit closer again, but look at that, the top of climb is also a little bit off, is it? And we are basically leveling off now. It went into hold mode already. If we cross-check the calculation, let's see, top of descent is now like, I don't know, 40 miles out, Lakut is 120 out, that's 80 miles to lose 25,000 feet, 25 times 3, 75. So yeah, that top of descent does seem accurate to me. Okay, made it all the way to cruise level. Let's just take a quick moment to admire the looks of that MD-11 flight deck. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful. I really like it. And really gotta say, TFDI did an awesome job. Look at the drains of dirt over here on the main panel right now. Same over here on the other side. TFDI really did an awesome job on the modeling. It's right up there with any other of the high quality add-ons. If not, in some cases, even a little bit further. Cockpit's looking really good. There are a couple exceptions, like over here there's basically no detail, but I'm sure that's a work in progress, so let's not worry about that too much. What we can do though, is go to the approach. We got an ILS 4 left coming up. That's 111.9, that should be auto-tuned if I'm not mistaken. Let's wait and see what it does, if it is going to tune it or not. And apart from that, we got Helsinki VOR, HEL, that we can tune up there. Does it take that? Yeah, it does. 14.2 and 14.2. Perfect. So the auto-tune actually works. Let's see if we can receive it though. Not really, yeah? Looks like a placeholder to me. The direction isn't entirely accurate, should be more like over there. And there is no ident and no nothing. But maybe Microsoft Flight Simulator, always keep it in mind, maybe we can only receive it from about 120 miles onwards. In real world, you know, 200 miles is no problem for a VOR, but, well. Okay, pass on top of descent, let's go down already. So, profile is engaged, we'll just take it down all the way to 100. Here we go. Catching the vertical profile again. Okay, for the rest of our setup, it's gonna be flaps. Well, I'll tell you what, flaps 35 is totally fine for that landing, and the minimum is going to be 334 down there. Give me a barrel minimum. Here we go, 334. Very good. That was easy. I do believe the first version had a bug that you couldn't set the barrel minimums. Looks like that's fixed. Okay, so that stuff is done, and I don't think we gotta do much more for the setup, honestly. The rest of it is basically done by the airplane. I like that. I really like that. Well, the auto brakes we gotta set, so let's just do that. Give me auto brakes, medium, please. Thank you. So, what is it doing on the profile now? Just doing a 700 or 800 feet a minute here? That doesn't seem quite right to me. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's just follow that VNAV, see what it does, and we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, ready for the approach briefing? So, threats for the arrival, well, to be honest, not that much. Weather's alright. I mean, it's Helsinki in winter, what do you expect? Not too much, to be honest. But weather is alright. Maybe a little slippery taxiways. If we do feel anything the likes, we're just going to reduce our taxi speed. And we're going to go down all the way at 5 knots if we have to. Okay, apart from that, let's see what else. Well, I can't really come up with anything, but let's not make up threats when there are none. Okay, so that is that. So let's go ahead then with our briefing. For the arrival, we've got a start into the downwind. Let's just cross-check that once more. You go flight plan, and yep, nicely onto a downwind. That's all you can ask for. Joining the final 2,300 feet MPEV for an 04 left approach. Missed approach then, let's have a look at that. Climb straight at 580, turn left onto 355, climbing at 2000. So I've got 580, 2000, and then a vector lag. Doesn't tell us any heading or so over here, but yeah. Not sure how to cross-check that. If someone of you knows, then please put it in the comments below. We're always here to learn. Alright, so for the landing itself, let's see, we're expecting 11 tons estimated fuel on board, so that's a burn of like 500 kilos or something. I do remember on the ground it showed 8.5. If anybody of you wants to go back in the live stream, remember the time where we are right now, then go back a little bit and check what it showed on the ground. I believe it was 8.5, but it's fine like that as well. So 11 tons on arrival means we use 500 kilograms, which is a landing weight of 166.9. And flaps 35 for the approach. Unfortunately, still no speeds calculated over there. I do hope that's going to come with the future. In case of go around, what do we have here? Flaps retract, but no minimum clean speed yet. Okay, acceleration of 1500 is good for me as well. And that's basically it for the setup. Any questions on the approach? No? Very good. Then we can do the descent checklist down to the seatbelts. Landing data, checked set. Windshield any eyes, off. Decision height, MDA, 340 baro, and seatbelts are on. Descent approach checklist completed down to altimeters. So this one's interesting up there as well. If I'm not totally mistaken, that green diamond here should actually show us the track that we are flying, but looks like it doesn't. It looks like this is just fixed to our heading. You can see a wind is coming here from the left at 36 knots, so you can easily see the magenta line goes through 070, so we've got a 5-degree drift angle up here, and well, I do believe that should be on the 070 there, but I might be mistaken as well, so if you know better for an MD-11, then feel free to correct me in the comments below on that one. So, 60 miles towards Lakut, we got a descent 18,000 feet, so that is 54, 18 times 3, so we seem to be good on the profile. Also remember at the waypoint after Lakut at Marom, we've got a speed restriction of 250 knots, so we still got to lose like 66 knots up here. For that reason, if we're a tiny bit below what we just calculated in our head, that's totally expected, and that is totally normal. Looking really cool outside, isn't it? Looking really, really cool. I can't help myself. I really like that view from the back there. Something like this, from the jump seat. I think the MD-11 looks really gorgeous like that. Can't help myself but take screenshots either. I know, very professional. Taking photos at work. No pilot would ever do that. Certainly no Insta pilot. Okay, enough of that. Let's keep flying over here, shall we? So my plan is to fly it till like Lakut or something, and then we'll just radar vector ourselves onto the final. Alright, getting a little bit dark here. Let's get on a couple of those lights. Well, but the other ones. That's the floodlights we've got here, and the large box, that's the panel lights. That's what I meant to turn on. Here you go. That's looking cool. Still can't use the third FMC, but it's just about been, what, less than a month, so no surprise TFDI still got a little bit of work up ahead, but it's making really good progress, I gotta say. It's indeed making some very good progress. The changelogs, and we just about cross-checked a little bit of those changelog stuff, for example looking at the progress page, looking at the fix page. So all that suggests that the airplane is coming along nicely, and gotta make a fundamental difference here between the Embraer, for example, and what we're seeing of TFDI. And that difference just is TFDI got the experience and TFDI is delivering over here. And I've been part of flights and betas for more than long enough to know what you can reasonably expect to happen in a certain time frame, that I can tell you that, yeah, what TFDI is doing over here is really about as much as you can reasonably expect. So they are working on it full steam. Oh, come on, speed. Where are you going? 356, yeah. Let's use a little bit of speed brake here. $330, I like that number. Speed brake up. The VNAV path still seems a little strange at times. Like right now, target speed it's set towards 220 knots, even though I don't know why. Is there anything in the flight plan page? Yeah, LACO 220. Is that correct? No. How did that restriction get in there? Well, I don't care. Clear it out. Interesting. I cleared the restriction, but look at that. It still wants to be there at the same altitude and... Okay, so if you make that 250/100, is that gonna work? Any change on the speed profile? Yeah, target speed is back towards 330. Even though it's accelerating once again, so let's give it a little bit of speed brake once more. No, we don't need thrust, thank you. Pull that off, please. That's something I noticed really a couple of times already. Like, look at that. Let's pull a third speed brake up here. Now look at the speed trend vector over here and when the engines start reacting. Now we're 10 seconds from the target. Still okay. But now it starts adding thrust slowly. Yeah, like 4 knots ahead, but when I now stow the speed brake, okay, that wasn't too bad. But it's still accelerating. Not sure why VNAV calculated a profile like that. Might have been a little, I don't know, probably work in progress, I guess. Look at that, it's really accelerating again quite a bit. Let's give it a 2/3 speed brake, maybe. Yeah, see that? It's immediately adding thrust, even though we are still 15 knots above the target. And now when I'm stowing the speed brake again, obviously speed is increasing straight away. That's what I meant earlier. Okay, adding some... flying into some clouds, -3 degrees, so we might very well expect some icing in a few moments. Let's see if the automatic anti-icing system is going to turn up. Obviously, yeah, here it is. Anti-ice all on. And we can see it up here as well. The on lights have all illuminated. Now it's going off again. So, speed is checked, correcting. Man, what's wrong with that VNAV? I tell you what. have some sort of an open descent mode or something? Yeah, here we go. Idle 10,000. Let's just go all the way down to 5,000 already then. So let's see what it's doing now. It's coming out of the clouds. Okay, nice. But the pitch is quite far down. I have no speed brakes out right now, just to confirm. Yeah, 3,000 feet a minute might be a little bit much right now. Let's do something like 1,500 or so. At drag. No, I won't. And 5,000. Still have to pull that out to get it active or something. Come on, how are you going to change towards 10,000 now? That's interesting. I can match it to the current altitude, but now it's in hold. Don't want that, but we want it to start descending. I don't know, that dialing in of an altitude seems a little bit interesting at times. Here we go, idle 5,000. And tell you what, if it's responding already, I'll just go straight for 3,000 for the platform of the ILS. Okay, let's go heading 110. And same thing, normally you dial it in, then you pull it out, and that's the airplane signal that we want to start flying there. Let's also give it a vertical speed here. 1,500 or something the likes, should work fine. And we are passing 10,000, so lights coming on. Logo light, I'll tell you what, we don't need that. Okay, perfect. Cool, set altimeter 1002, thrust check, passing 8,000. Now. Yeah, checked. Okay, a couple further degrees to the right, heading 120 please. Dial in, pull it out, and then it's turning. Normally it should work the same with the altitude as far as I'm aware. Dial the new one in, pull it, and then it should take it, but I don't know why that didn't work earlier, but, well, don't really care either. Okay, so let's continue with the descent approach checklist. Altimeters 1002, cross check, passing 7,100 now. Checked. Hydraulic panel, auto, exterior lights on, descent and approach checklist complete. That VOR indication is definitely not simulated yet, so let's just get rid of that. So a quick calculation. We got 20 miles to run till we intercept the final. Got 3,500 foot to lose, so that's like roughly 10 miles we need to lose the altitude, plus another 5 to lose our speed. In other words, we can reduce our rate of descent a little bit. Let's give it some minus 1,000 feet a minute or so. And that should give us a nicer profile. For the flight plan, let's just go to direct already, PODOM. Yeah, don't need a beams. Just give me something like that. Perfect. We could obviously just go, well, let's actually do it. Nav, profile, and see what we're gonna get. 2,300 is our actual platform, not 3,000. I was wrong about that earlier. So let's just see what the airplane's gonna do now. .800 feet a minute. Looks alright. Probably getting the profile rather nicely with that. That's looking quite cool, isn't it? snowy part down here as well. But so is the sky outside there. Really nice. Okay, 10 miles to run towards Podam. So overall we got like 20 miles to run now. Let's see what the progress page says about it. Distance to go, yep, 19 miles now, very good. We're in 4,000, that means in order to lose that we need 12 miles. And then we got the remaining 7 to lose our airspeed, perfect. So we're on a pretty good profile right now. I mean, VNAV isn't exactly following the target. If you look at that, it's slightly increasing deviation to the below. So not exactly sure what it's doing, but suppose eventually we're going to get there. Also, let's start slowing down the speed a little bit. Flaps extent. Sorry, slats extent, that way. And then we can dial in flap 15. Here we go. That's flaps 15 pre-selected. So let's go flaps 15. At drag. Yeah, let's see what happens when the engines roll back to idle. It might help it a bit indeed.
Autopilot.
Oh, I accidentally hit the trim button.
Autopilot.
I hit the trim button, that was my mistake.
2500.
Terrain noted. Okay, speed's coming back slowly, still waiting for the glide slope. Okay, approach button is armed, and that is something from the changelog that they said they improved quite a bit. The capture of the localizer. Remember on the earlier videos when the airplane just turned straight away to the, I don't know, the next waypoint or something? So that should be fixed now, so let's see how that's going to work out. Okay, it's diving down a little bit, a couple hundred feet a minute while capturing the altitude, but okay. So leveling off, engine staying at idle. Glide slope should come alive any moment. Let's just see that approach chart once again. ILS for left, yep, MPEF is the FAF, 2,300 feet, so glide slope should come alive any moment now. When it does, I might use a little bit of speed brake to help slowing it down, but if that's not necessary, that would of course be even better. We'll see about it. Okay, glide slope alive. Gear down, flaps 28. Oh, no. No. I meant to arm it, not extend the speed brakes. That's looking better. Okay, 6 miles out, about to intercept the glide slope. Very good, glide slope capture. Go around altitude 2000 set. Not sure if I need to pull or push that now, but I'm afraid to get out of glide slope mode, so I'll just leave it as it is. Probably not the most professional thing to do, but flaps 35. And before landing checklist. Landing gear down 4 greens, spoilers and auto brakes, medium, flaps 35. Altimeters 1002, cross check passing 1830 now. And EAD checked before landing checklist complete. Okay, that's our field and sights. Very cool. So we are actually getting there. Okay, let's fly that last bit manually here. Start with the auto thrust.
Autopilot.
Well, auto thrust. Should that generate an autopilot advisory? I don't know. Maybe. Not saying it's wrong, just don't get me wrong there. Okay, landing lights going on. Speed, yeah, it's easy to maintain in here, really.
1000.
Checked. Okay.
Autopilot.
This one was the autopilot, however. Oh no, it's pushing us down again. Don't do the same thing you did in Stansted, please. Ooh. I need to work a little bit. You can see a bit of my control column in the on the lower side there. But look at that, it's controllable rather nicely now.
400.
The initial phase after the autopilot disconnect was a bit hectic, but now it's working quite well. Approaching minimum.
Approaching minimum. $200. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh man, that touchdown was interesting. Okay, so we've got reverse green. Man, that auto brake's defective. Okay, auto brake off. Let's just make it roll at least to the next exit. That was a bit excessive. Still the reverses, and off we go. Where's the airport chart? That might look slippery down there, but it isn't. Okay. Cool, so 38 minutes flight time. That was rather accurate. I predicted it at 39. We made 38. Okay then, reduce speeds. Here we go, that's looking good. 9 knots. 10 now, shouldn't get much more. Okay, we're clear on the right side, we're clear on the left side, we'll turn out to the left. I didn't expect the airplane to brake that strong. I thought we'd end up somewhere towards the end there, so that we could make a nice and quick taxi in, but no. It braked a little bit better than I thought. Okay, here we go. Okay, so do we have a taxi chart somewhere over here? Airport. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're gonna go straight ahead to the end, and then down here, and then we'll end up straight on the main apron over here. Alright, that's where we want to go to. I just wish we had a zoom function for those charts, but doesn't look like it. Okay, so let's go ahead with the after landing procedures. So, ground spoilers are disarmed already, flaps and slats. Retracting, radar and transponder are off. Oh, flap disagree? Yeah, now it's back. Okay. So, auto brake. Off. Stabilizer, we're gonna set to 3 units, nose up. Look at that, it's 13 units right now. That's really a lot. Still trimming, still trimming. And fuel on landing, 10 tons. That is quite okay. Obviously we took a little shortcut there, so... Here we go, 3 degrees set. Okay, external lights, landing lights can sure as hell sinky come off. High intensity lights coming off as well. And then we're approaching a turn. Okay, let's take that turn at first. And then we're going to continue. Okay, anti-ice is all set and APU start. Okay, a bit more thrust, let's get it back to 30 knots. Okay, let's read the after landing checklist. And we're cleared across the runway. Strobe lights going on. Or high intensity lights as they call them over here. So, spoilers retracted, flap slats up and retracted, weather radar transponder off and alt off, auto brake off, stab trim 3 degrees nose up, exterior lights set, any eyes off, APU starting, after landing checklist complete. Man, I'm not taxiing very well today, but it's a 2-pilot airplane, and I'm operating single pilot. That excuse basically always works. Okay, turning onto the apron over here. We'll park in front of the lovely Helsinki Airport sign over there. From the Stockholm Airport sign to the Helsinki Airport sign. What else could you ask for? How's the wingtip clearance looking over here? Yeah, that's fine. So, the next gate is ours. Lights going off. And did we turn the high intensity lights off again? No, we did. Alright, gate number 28. That's ours. How's it looking? Yeah, alright. Just looks so incredible with an airplane like this, how much you have to overshoot with the nose. Okay, went a tiny bit too far. Let's just bring it back on. And that's it. Okay. Wish we had a marshaller, but we don't, so we just gotta judge the stopping distance ourselves. Alright, that shall be sufficient. So that's park and brake set. Then let's go ahead and shut the airplane down, and most importantly, let's do it properly. So park and brake set. Ground communication is established, external power, we don't have that, but we should have an APU. Can I access that? Oh, look at that, the APU just... Oh, I started that, didn't I? I'm pretty sure it did. In that case, shutdown number 3. Services, GPU, connect. Then we're just going to take the ground power unit. Here we are. External power is connected. Shutting down all 3 engines. Okay. Anti-ice is off, engines are running down, seatbelt sign is off now, and the engines are below 15, so the beacon can go off as well. Fuel control panel is set, emergency power selector going to off, and the parking brake is set. Okay, we're going to leave the IRS on as the next crew is taking over straight away. And the status page is showing everything we expect it to show. Okay, parking checklist please. Anti-ice, off, hydraulic panel, auto. Oh, and let's bring that APU bleed online. So, where were we? Hydraulic panel, auto, fuel switches, off, seatbelts, off. Fuel panel, auto, emergency power off, exterior lights set, parking brake set, IRS on, SD status reviewed, parking checklist complete. That's it guys. I do hope that you've all enjoyed that little flight with the Alpha 4 of the TFDI MD-11 now. So thank you very much for flying, and well, what can we say in the aftermath? It was a nice flight. Not everything working perfectly. Well, it is an alpha version, but TFDI is certainly showing progress, and TFDI is slowly but steadily getting there. And that's the most important thing. So, whenever it releases to the public, not sure how long it's going to take, a minimum of another around about 30 days. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually takes a little bit longer, because it actually still is, well, rather far from being a final version here, but TFDI are showing progress with it. I just hope they don't release it too early so that it leaves a bad impression with everybody, because it is showing a great lot of potential, and I'm sure that, as I said in my last video, in a year from now, it's going to be an excellent airplane. Alright then, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Sure hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to leave a like in YouTube if you did like the video, as it does help with the algorithms. Subscribe to the channel if you're up for more, and finally, don't forget to leave a comment to let me know how you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. But until then, I'd like to say thank you very much, and see you all again on the next one.